Hello, my name is Stumpyee, and this is my show. First episode. I think I'm funny. At least my mom tells me. Um, yeah, I don't know. Everybody's doing a podcast, so why not? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put this on YouTube. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm doing, but here we go. Um, shit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a bit pissed. I thought there was peace in the valley, and then it was all disturbed again for about 2 weeks. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's JoJo Siwa. Um, she had that whole bad girl thing. It was like for a week everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, literally everything. Completely annoying. I couldn't go on anything, which kind of bummed me out because that's where some of the good memes are and shit memes. Don't at me, Reddit. And it was all good. Literally, nice week and a half. And then I'm at work, chilling on my phone, taking a shit. I'm scrolling through, and then boom, there she is again, throwing a tantrum, wigging out. And yeah, I kind of seems like it's died down a lot quicker. But man, as soon as she shows up, it's like, nope, that's enough. That's enough. It's like I've been on here for 30 minutes, but that's enough. That's it. You'll see anything and everything, and work like forklift fails or something like that, and boom, she comes up. It's like, nah, that's good. I'm good. Kind of makes me wonder when it will end. Honestly, now that I think about it, there were like a lot of sketch comedians that were like trying to imitate her as like satire or to be funny, and like the type of cringe they tried to like I can't fucking speak. Replicate did not really work out. Somehow it was less cringy than the actual clips. Like you can probably find them, or they're probably already there right now as I'm talking, because it's fucking everywhere. You can't not see her at this point. Kind of feels like crap. My niece was obsessed with her way back in the day, and like that's all that was like plaguing me was every time I came over. It's like, hey, let's hang out. Let's watch some cartoons. I'm babysitting. Boom, JoJo Siwa. Not gonna lie, song's pretty okay. Not bad. I'll admit it. Kinda slaps. Kinda. But yeah, no. The bad girl era seems like she's trying to. I don't know. It's like Britney, but I don't know. Britney had her own reasons for that. Miley Cyrus, maybe that was a different rebranding. Yeah, I think the breakout thing for her rebranding was no, it wasn't Wrecking Ball. I'm not really too caught up on my musical pop culture, but I'm just saying it's getting too much. I don't think I can take any more of it. I'm about to uninstall everything. Oh God. I kind of don't know what to do. I'm not trying to put dead space. I think I might put like clips of me playing Call of Duty or something, just to be funny. But I'll probably get roasted in the comments about how trash I am. Which I tell you what, I'm starting to feel like it has been now. I've been playing Battlefield 1 recently. Pretty fun. Graphics are still good. Gameplay's great, but man, I feel like a fucking noob. I can't. Which, in a weird way, I've been getting bored with games lately. As weird as that is, I don't know. I guess I'm getting old. Uh, Definitely feel old now. Married 2 months ago, and yeah, my wife is like 9 months pregnant, so tell me how that happened. Definitely give you guys an update probably the next time I record one, which I'm probably thinking maybe weekly or bi weekly. We'll see when that little fucker comes out. Um, Not gonna lie, I've been watching a lot of Shane Gillis and him and Matt's Secret podcast. Kind of made me want to do this. We'll see. See how it goes. Everybody keeps on telling me watch Kill Tony. A buddy of mine was telling me watch Time Suck. Those I think would be a bit more my speed, and I might hop in. Lately, I've been watching a lot of D&D podcasts like NADPod, Dungeon Daddies. That's about it. Really, only the two. I'm kind of almost caught up with them, so I might bounce to a third, or who knows. Yeah, I figured I'd give this a try. Why not? Ah, God, that smells fucking disgusting. Anywho, shit's crazy, man. Everything is just crazy. Fucking Florida, the snowbirds left, which I'm a Florida man, by the way. But all the snowbirds left, and now we're left with, well, it's not even spring break anymore. More like the summer people. They come down, and they're almost as bad. A little bit better drivers, less if they're from South Carolina. I've driven through South Carolina. I've got run off the road about twice. One going there, one going back. So far, it's not looking good. But they're bad ones. The massholes. New Yorkers will just ride your ass and honk their horn. I know a lot of I guess New Englanders really at that point. I mean, people complain about Floridians not using their turn signals, but it's because every time I flip that bad boy on, you know what happens? They speed up to not let me get over. So at that point, I'm bobbing and weaving on I-75, going 90 miles an hour, not using my turn signal. And if you're FHP, I'm not doing it. Please don't pull me over. I work nights. I've been up since like 4 in the morning. I've worked 8 hours. Please, officer, please. Crap, I think that's incrimination. Fuck, I should have pled the fifth. You know what? It's all joke. It's all satire. It's all hypothetical. Ugh. Anywho, I'm kind of surprised a lot more, like, stars from back in the day don't have, like, I honestly don't know where I was going with that. Anywho, I'm not really ending this right now, but I am going to plug a couple things. My Instagram is at Stumpyee, Stumpyee. You can find me on pretty much anything that way, even OnlyFans. Yes, I have it. No, I don't post anything really. Patreon is the same. I can already see a lot of people wondering about the OnlyFans thing. You're probably looking up right now, and if you are, yes. Yes, I do have it. Why? Well, me and a bunch of my buddies were really drunk at the bar. I lost a game of pool, and that was it. It was, hey, whoever loses buys us around and creates an OnlyFans. So I had that up. It's still up. I really just need to deactivate it. Huh. I don't know. We'll see. If a lot of people start buying it, I might start posting more feet pics or something. That's about it. I actually had one person randomly subscribe and buy something from my, like, BS wish list I made that was just, like, random, like, uwu crap. Like, I had a Deadpool body pillow, like, anime girl stockings, a mouse pad that is, like, very not safe for work, which they end up buying and shipping to my house. And I accidentally opened up in front of my mom and dad, which, not really disappointment, but more of like, what the fuck? Those kind of, they were just staring at me like, like, okay. It's like, yeah, somebody on the internet bought you that. All right, you're telling me you didn't buy it, buddy? And so I'm just sitting there, like, trying to explain to them, which I then had to, I ended up showing them my OnlyFans and just going on, it's like, no, this is a real thing. which they didn't know what it was, thank God. Um, is it hard to believe that I'm not the most disappointing one out of my family? Might be, might not be, but yeah, they my siblings set the bar low. God, that was a nasty burp. Excuse me. Anywho, the mess you guys may see behind me, I actually cleaned up today, but that's all a bunch of painting shit for my wife, which I don't dare touch because I don't want to listen to that. Yeah, she does a pretty good job, honestly. She's been thinking about selling that. Would be good. Shit, not really sure how they do it. If they write like a little list of random crap they're going to talk about, it's usually funner with the guest, and I am uh, gonna see how like this one does, and see if I can any get like weird guests from my life. Like I don't know, get one of my brothers. Like pretty much I'm the only one without a criminal record, and they got some stories and shit about well, a lot of things, a lot of life things. Celebrities probably not. I don't think I'll ever get that big. To be honest, this is probably I'll make like a couple and then get burnt out because it's like, all right, nobody's watching it. Which I guess I kind of have a weird problem with. It's like, I guess like many millennials in like my age group, no instant gratification. I'm not bothered. Either you're really good at it or you don't touch it at all. Which is kind of weird. Then again, I don't have that weird sense of like unearned entitlement. Like, I deserve to be famous. I deserve this and that. It's like, no, I just figured this would be a fun thing. Which, to be honest, kind of work in customer service for a while. A lot of the older people kind of have that entitlement in them. And it's kind of, if you think about it, it's like, man, I kind of see where the younger generation gets it from. Like, you guys know what I mean? Like you think about it, like, especially like, I don't even want to say boomers because that feels like they're the most like hated on group. But it is kind of them. I guess the one that came after Gen X, is that it? I don't know. Then you get a lot of the people like, I guess older people that are like, oh man, this generation's crap. They da 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 da, and kind of go on the list about everything I talked about and other things. And it's like, right, but who raised them? Who taught them to be that way? Which I'm not going to say names, but I kind of work with a coworker kind of like that who I mostly tune out. And, yeah, kind of a lot of the crap half the time. I just want to get in and get out so I don't try to do any arguments. But in my head, I'm like, it's like, yep, keep on talking, keep on talking. It's like, yeah, sure, they were like that and it was good in your time, but what happened? It's like, it's not my generation's fault. We're all kind of getting enough age where we're either getting out of college or entering the workforce. So, how could we have messed it up in diapers, huh? Yeah, yeah. Which another weird thing I think about, I was like maybe 2 when 9/11 happened, and my wife was not even born yet. Like she's just like 2 years younger than me, and it's kind of weird. Like I don't really remember. I actually don't remember at all. But kind of like growing up, like in the school, kind of when it was very recent, like around the day all the teachers would talk about it. So like I'm in like a weird buffer where it's like I was kind of born before, but also at the same time didn't live through it, which is kind of awkward because like shit, a couple years ago, not years, months ago, my family's all chilling and like my brother brings up conspiracy theories about 9/11, Bush, Cheney, all that kind of stuff, and it's like okay, and they're all talking and my mom's talking about her experiences like when it was happening. None of us are from New York, thankfully, for different reasons. Respect, I don't know, I feel bad for the families and stuff. It happened about like 20 3 years ago. Sad event, tragic event. But they were talking, and I'm just sitting here. It's like, oh yeah, you were in school. You were watching the TV, and then it got clicked over. Okay, my dad was watching the kid. Okay, my mom was at work. My brothers were in school, and like I was just like an infant, and it's like okay, or I guess really more like toddler. That shit never made sense to me. Whenever it's like, okay, you go from like infant to toddler. Like there's no in between stage. Like it really matters at that point. It's usually infant, and then once the terrible twos hit, I guess, is when you become a toddler. Which I can't wait to look forward to. My God. Tell you what, I kind of start to understand some of the 70s comedies and 80s, 90s where like the dad came home from work and then just started drinking. Yeah, once you hit that spot where it's like I got a wife, a kids, and I work a job, it's like ooh, it's like yeah, good cold beer sounds pretty good, and I'm gonna drink pretty heavily on the weekend and fuck off. Well, I joke though. I really don't drink that heavily. I'll have like maybe one or two drinks over the weekend just to kind of relax. Ooh, shit! I slept for like 10 hours and I'm still tired. I work nights, so oh god, I felt like I only got like I only made up for the sleep I missed over the week, not the sleep I missed last night. If that makes sense. I don't know. Nights are weird, man. Like a lot of people I've known to work nights, you fall into two categories. Either and there's like subcategories to it. You got people who will sleep for 8 hours, stay up, go to work, or you have like people who will take like naps here, naps there. I'm more of a nap person. And like one thing I never got till I work nights is like some people, whenever I was working at a 7-Eleven, they would come in and like I'm working like first shift, like the morning shift, the coffee shift at like 6 a.m. As soon as like we're allowed to sell alcohol, they're right there buying 40s and shit. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, this guy's a fucking alcoholic. And then, like, I'm talking to the guy, and he's like, you know, we're smoking cigarettes outside. I'm like, man, I'm like, hey, can I ask you something? He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's like 6 in the morning, man. Like, I don't mean to pry or, you know, assume anything, but why are you getting like a 40? And he's like, I mean, he's like, I work nights. I'm a security guard over at blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, right, but I'm still not getting. He's like, man, I'm gonna go home after this, smoke a couple cigs and chug this motherfucker, and I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna crash. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I guess that's one way. And then, you know, getting older, like about, like, I don't know, shit, 4 years later, I'm working night shift, and I got like a couple tall boys in the fridge, and like I'm exhausted. I know I gotta get some sleep. It's hot as hell. Sun's still out. I'm like, man, how the fuck am I gonna sleep? And I'm sitting there and I'm staring at the beer in the fridge, and I'm like, fuck it. So pretty much just chugged the two, chain smoke like half a pack of cigarettes, and woke up in time for work. A little bit hungover, but that's what Blue Powerade's for, baby. Hashtag not sponsored. Which, to be honest, kinda Blue Powerade. I don't know what it is. It seems like the cure all to a lot. Like I've had a couple nights where like I'm feeling groggy, not really hungover, but like I get a sip of that Blue Powerade, man, I am good to go. Like working on the roof with my dad, like whenever I was younger, whenever we needed cash. It was hot, it was exhausting, it was shitty, but man, that sip of Blue Powerade and I'm fucking good. God, shit, I might run to the store and get some right now. I'm actually craving it. Fuck, why'd I mention it? Which is just a weird idea for me. But like I play D&D. I was a player and I decided to be like a forever DM to help people out. But I think from now on, canonically, instead of red health potions, I'm gonna make them blue and they're gonna taste like Powerade. Yeah, fuck it, why not? It's my it's my little fantasy world. We're all here to agree to it. Yeah. Hmm. Shit, that's actually not a bad idea. Then again, that's if the group can get together. We haven't played in a while, man. Like, it's so hard getting people to play D&D. Like, I don't know if anybody really understands or, like, well, I'm pretty sure people do understand, but anybody watching plays D&D. But, like, it is a hassle. Yeah. God, I should have made coffee before I started. Anywho, I quit smoking for the first time, like, God, what is it? I want to say 2020, whenever they changed the age, and I was like a couple months away from being 21. And so in that time, I got tired of bumming ciggies from my mom, and so I ended up quitting. And then I was kind of good for a while, and then I don't know. I was drinking with a couple buddies at the bar, and they're all smoking. I'm like, okay, let me get a cig. And I tell you what, quitting smoking's easy because I've done it probably about 15 times already. It's just hard to stay quit. Like, I can actually pick up cigarettes and put them down, like, easier than I can vaping. That, I just become a fiend. Like, I'm sitting there, like, 24/7. I'm like, and if I don't hit it, like, after, like, 5 seconds, I'm, like, cracked out. I'm like, man. Shit, actually, like, dip. Dip. I can do that no problem. It just starts to, like, make my mouth feel disgusting. But, like, going to high school and stuff, like, it, right, vaping wasn't that big whenever I was in high school. And a lot of kids would do dip. Like, that was kind of it. Like, a lot of kids would walk around with, like, dip in their boots or, like, in their back pocket. Teachers wouldn't say anything, right? And, like, that's kind of where I got into it in high school because it was like, hey, man, let me get a pinch of that. And, like, none of us really had spitters. We would just swallow it, which is, like, a gross... It's kind of gross to think about now. And, like, even talking to, like, my wife and other people who didn't go to the same school as me, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? It's like, I don't know, man. Like, we didn't have spitters. What are we going to do? And then there was one kid, and I'll never forget this. It was in English class. He was dipping, and he was like, it's sixth period. We're about to go home. And he's like dipping, and he's getting cocky with like a spitter, you know? And the teacher, she's like, are you really dipping in my class? Are you using a spitter? What the hell? And like yelling at him. She's like, you need to go to the principal's office and pour that out. And he's like, it's not a spitter, it's sweet tea. It's sweet tea. And she's like, oh yeah, go ahead, take a sip of it, buddy. Take a sip. And this motherfucker, he's like, okay. Instead of just like, touching it to your lips, like, good tea. No, he like takes a gulp of it. And we're all like, just like horrified, like, God, you're disgusting. And we got like 10 minutes left, and he's doing this. And like every time he goes to spit, she's like, you gotta drink that. It's tea. Why are you spitting out the tea? And he takes another sip and another sip. And then we hear the bell go for us to leave. And he's already been looking green for like the past 10, 20 minutes. Like he's not looking okay. Like he's just waiting so he can like go throw up. And like we all stand up to go. He stands up and immediately sits down and just projectile vomit. Just like, God, like I think we had pizza for lunch, or like no, we had like that weird mashed potatoes with like cheap ass gravy and like chopped up chicken, and that's just being thrown up with like flakes of like just, I think it was grizzly wintergreen. Like I know it was wintergreen because like the smell, like the whole place stunk, and like he threw up on the floor, on the wall, and everybody's like, oh, what the hell, like piling out, and the teacher's just kind of like all grossed out. And we're all kind of like running out and we're all kind of laughing, like, oh shit. He didn't get suspended. He didn't get in any trouble for that. I guess the whole thing was its own punishment. But that kind of like reminded everybody why, oh yeah, that's why we don't have spitters. Why we just swallow it. And like we never did big pinches. It was like really small things. Like if you swallowed like some of it, you're not gonna like completely throw up like he did. But like man, he had like a full lip and everything. That was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Horrifying. But funny. Which kind of thinking about that is making me think of another thing, like working in stores that are like customer service, like a 7-Eleven. There were a couple times where I don't know what's going on with some people. Like this was like explosive diarrhea doesn't even like explain it. Cuz like I had to go into a bathroom and clean it and there was like feces, human feces like shotgunned all over the toilet, the walls, even the ceiling. I felt like that scene in was it Daddy Daycare where like the kid just like walks up to the dad and it's like I missed, and it's like oh you missed, and goes in and he's looking around all horrified and shit. And the person didn't tell me that. It was somebody who walked in fucking trying not to throw up like, hey, yo, there's shit all over the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Somebody didn't flush or whatever. Because that's happened a couple times. No, I walk in and I'm like, son of a bitch. I go tell my manager, it's like, hey, man, I need you to watch the register. Because, like, the bathroom's messed up. Do you want a rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to clean this? And he's like, looking at me. He's like, no, you can go do it. You can go do it. And I'm like, fuck. He's like, but other than that, just bring a hose in. You ain't got to do shit all day if you clean that. I'll let you sit on the clock and dick around in the bathroom. In the back office, like, pretty much he let me, like, as soon as I cleaned that shit, I didn't have to do anything for the rest of the day. So, man, I'm out, like, I bring the hose in from the back door. Just hosing the thing down because there's, like, a drain in the sink. God, the fucking smell, man. I got home and I took like a long, deep shower, and I'm like, I don't think I could do this. Which, growing up, like, I thought about being a doctor, and then as I got older, listening to my mom, who was like an RN before she went into like corrections and security, she was a nurse, and she kind of like told me, she's like, look, if you want to be a doctor or a nurse, you're gonna have to deal with cleaning human feces. You're gonna have to deal with cleaning shit. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to do that. Fuck that. That's disgusting. And then at that point, I realized, man, I'm not safe really anywhere. I'm gonna be cleaning up shit regardless. And now that I have a kid coming, it's like, fuck, okay. It's like the one thing I didn't want to do, I'm kind of stuck doing now. Great. Tell you what, though, whenever I left 7-Eleven and I ended up working at like a cigar shop, which is like a big chain, there were a couple times some customers would smoke cigars, and like there's a weird way you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to inhale. You're supposed to kind of like sip on it and kind of just hold the smoke in your mouth to kind of get the flavor. But you got some people who will inhale, which a lot of things wrong with that. But whenever you get like a darker cigar, like a Maduro, that's like a very dark wrapper, what ends up happening is that makes it more like heartier. It's more heavy. It's more potent. And there were a couple instances where like either one regular, but like a bunch of people who'd come sit because we had like a small lounge, they would sit and they've never smoked cigars before. Try and give them the lowdown. Not supposed to do this. Not make sure they don't throw up or shit. Well, a lot of people come in. They'd buy them. They'd sit. They start smoking. They'd start looking green, and there's a trail of shit leading to the bathroom or outdoors. Thankfully, I've never had to clean up throw up. Well, I don't know. I'd rather clean up throw up than a fucking trail of shit, honestly, now that I think about it. Okay, at least it wasn't throw up and shit. Which, shit, as being a new father, I'm gonna have to do both. Fuck. I can't win. I was kind of stoked for all this till I started talking, man. This is really getting me thinking. Fuck. Yeah, it'll be fine. Even if it wasn't, I don't have any choice, right? I already tried that whole gallon of milk, pack of cigarettes thing whenever I found out she was pregnant, which was actually like a day before my birthday. Yeah, let that one sink in. Um, to which she looked at me with that skip me. She's like, "Oh no, you fucking don't. I'm coming with you." So I legit had to go get a pack of cigarettes and a gallon of milk, which is kind of whenever I like really like was like, okay, like this is what I'm gonna do. I really haven't touched cigarettes in a good long minute, but like I've been doing Zen and stuff, like a little bit here, a little bit there to kind of curve the cravings. That's about it. But man, I tell you what, it's hard. Definitely hard. What's even harder though is I actually work in a place where you can smoke inside, and I work with chain smokers. And like they never smoke at the same time. There's one person who's smoking. Once he gets done with the cigarette, the other one goes smokes, and it's like a back to back. And like I always come home smelling like cigarettes. And it's like that. It's like, man, I really want one staring at him. It's like, ooh. And then the place I work at also has cigarettes. So whenever I'm touching and counting it, I do auditing. Retail, not IRS. I'm not a Fed, I swear. But like, man, talk about belly of the beast with temptation. Like, every day is kind of hassle for me, not gonna lie. Oh, God. Yeah, as far as guests, I'm thinking maybe, well, shit, I think I already touched that subject. Shit, if I really did ever get somebody famous on here, like if I actually made it or if this did well, I'd be pretty damn surprised, honestly. But shit, if I really wanted somebody, I would want Brandon Herrera. Actually, yeah, I'd want Brandon Herrera on. Like, for those of you who don't know, um, big gun YouTuber, 2A ad. Okay, recording mic works. Okay, so I had did a little thing. I accidentally plugged the mic for like 5 minutes, um, and I didn't hit the record button while I was talking for about 5 minutes. I like Brandon Hura. I love to shoot the AK-50 and other guns he has. I'm 5 pound. I'm 5'1" and 150 soaking wet. I think that would be funny to watch me try and handle the recoil. Also, a shoulder-fired 50 cal he has. Fuck yeah, dude. Let me let me get my grubby little mitts on that. Fucking watch me just, try and oh, if I don't go flying. Um, and that I have been drinking out of my Grogu cup I got from Disney. Um, yes, they took all my money. I love Star Wars. I grew up on it. I'm actually behind on all the series. I think I got like halfway through Rebels. Need to finish that. Gotta watch Ahsoka, uh, Acolyte. Just really need to get caught up and honestly, while my wife's on maternity leave, we're probably gonna sit me, her, and the baby and just watch it all. That's kind of it. Like, we're both kind of into it. She's not really too much in Lord of the Rings, which I am. Like, actually, we're trying to watch it, like, not even director's cut, and she's falling asleep. Like, we were together for like 2 years. I was thinking about just calling it quits there. It's like, I don't know. This is a deal breaker for me. You can't watch Peter Jackson's greatest work? It's like, come on now. This shit's great. As we're going, I'm talking to her. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the scene where Aragorn, he would run off and fish. Oh, he broke his toe kicking that helmet. Like, like any other nerd does whenever they watch Lord of the Rings, that's obsessed with it and has seen it like so many times, read the books, and has even like has that shit memorized word for word. I need help. Which if I had a BetterHelp sponsorship, this would be a great place to talk about it, but I don't have any sponsorships. This is the first episode. I don't really have anything. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of just winging it, seeing how this goes. Yeah, I want to try to get into streaming a bit more on Twitch, which is at Stumpyee. I do have a Patreon at Stumpyee, which I really don't know what else to put. I kind of play video games. I know a couple of my buddies like to go out to like the gun range and shoot, so maybe record me shooting some big ass guns. Fucking putting it on Patreon. I think I'm not really gonna make it too expensive. Like it's probably like I don't know $3 or something. Like I'm not gonna go too crazy. No weird like price gouge thing where it's like, oh yeah, I'm a niche YouTuber. Give me like $50 just to access like low level stuff, and then it's gonna be $200 to access my premium content. Like some OnlyFans model. Which actually I think my OnlyFans is free, and that's more of a joke. I swear to God, it's only a joke, please. Tell you what, down here in Florida, it's been hot. Like, it keeps on getting hotter. I thought it was going to be cooler this weekend, but it just seems to be getting going. I hear there's a big hurricane coming. But usually, if it's going to hit our way, it'll get cooler. Like, it just pushes the hot, humid air out. And, well, it's not doing its fucking job, and I'm getting kind of pissed. I actually went to a 7-Eleven car wash to wash my car because I got bored and pick up a blue Powerade. Yeah, I really love this shit, honestly. And I'm not sponsored. I love blue Powerade and Dr. Pepper. Not sponsored. But I noticed at a 7-Eleven car wash, for $14, at least where I'm at, it wouldn't just roll over once or twice and, like, wash the car, you know what I mean? It kept on going. Like, it was like they were really getting that shit fucking clean. There's no vacuum, which is like, okay, I got a shop vac. I'll just use that. No biggie. I'm standing out in the heat sweating anyways. But then, like, think about it, it's like, man, I paid $22 for, like, a pro, like, you know, they have the different tier things for a pro wax or whatever stupid gimmick they have for a car wash. Because I'm like, okay, it's got, like, the love bug protectant and crap like that. My car has never been clean. Like, that shit gets it almost all clean. There's some hot spots where it's like, ooh, you could have did that. And then people come in with, like, little, like, chamois and like, oh, yeah, you can finish it. And it's like, motherfucker, I paid $22. But this 7-Eleven one, dude, don't sleep on those car washes. They fucking geniuses. That shit was clean. I'm driving home, and, like, I have, like, that weird glittery gray on, like, my car. And, like, I get out, and that shit's hit me in the eyes. I feel like that one Boondocks episode where the one guy with, like, the nice timepiece, he's like, oh, let me check the time. And it's just fucking blinding everybody. That's how my car was. I'm like, ah, shit. Haven't seen this in a while. Fuck. Which then I realized, oh, man, there's a couple scrapes on my car. Fuck, what is that from? Which I don't think was from the car wash. I think that was from some down trees at my parents' house. Which I couldn't see because of the dirt. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to 7-Eleven from now on. That shit was pretty damn good on it, honestly. Ugh. One second. Anywho, sorry, I try not to cut or do a bunch of jump cuts. My wife just got home. She's cooking dinner. Fucking trooper, I tell ya. Making stir fry. That shit's gonna be fucking delicious. She's a great cook. Which I don't know if you remember those shows from like the 60s and stuff where it's like the dad reading the newspaper smoking a pipe. Like just like tobacco out of a pipe. Uh, I remember the first time I ever smoked out of tobacco, like pipe tobacco out of a tobacco pipe. I could not taste shit for a week. And I asked one of the customers who smoked pipe tobacco. I'm like, man, why do you smoke this if you can't taste shit? And he's like, look, Sonny, my wife does not know how to cook, and it's how I've survived for 30 years of marriage. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. So I tell you what, my wife's cooking has made me never question about if I wanted to start smoking pipe tobacco, which, no, no. Which a funny retail experience I had is someone bought like those cigarillos. They split it and they tried to return it because I guess like out of the 2 pack they smoked one and it was terrible. And they're trying to return it and it's split and it damaged and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? It's like, I'm sorry, I don't. You know what I mean? What do you do with that? It's like if somebody's like, "Hey man, let me return you a half-eaten chicken. It didn't cook right. It didn't taste right." It's like, are you sure you didn't season it well? Did you undercook it? Like, what did you do? I don't think it's the chicken's fault. I don't know. I've been wanting to play like RuneScape again, like old school RuneScape. I don't know about some people have tried to go back to it now in the days who used to play it way back in the day, but like shit's completely different, man. Like it feels like a whole new game. Um, like man, me and my brother we used to play that shit way back in the day. We were like little shits, man. We were assholes. Like I was like a low level when I started playing, and he was like, I think he was like close to being level 99. Like he had like fire making, which was 99, and he had the cape, but like everything else was like pretty high. And like I was power leveling my smithing and mining because him and his friends like I don't know how it happened, but like I'm making like armor and shit that I can't even wear, which was kind of funny too. With like armors and weapons I can't even use, and I'm like, here you go, buddy, and they would just bring me materials. Um, but yeah, like we used to go into like PvP worlds, or no, not even PvP. We would just go out, and I'd like trade them, be like, hey man, it's like you want to go trade out in the wilderness, or like I'd be like, hey, meet me in the wilderness, like I got blah 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 blah, let's go, bring some gold. And they would, and they'd be like, okay, this is a noob, let me go let me go murk him real quick, take his shit, teach him a lesson. And my brother would be like hiding kind of like where you couldn't see him, and like as soon as they would come out and try and attack me, he would just come out of nowhere and just like murk him. And like it was funny too because like he's like I want to say level 80 maybe, and like there's like level like 40s just like, yeah, we're gonna murk this kid and take his shit. And like, ooh. Which I guess now is like something you could get banned for looking back at it, but like, yeah. Man, on a couple, I had like a couple accounts. I think one I had like 1 million gold, and I don't think I have access to that account anymore. But like it was, like I'd get home from school, watch like daytime TV, and just like kill cows and sell the hide and like tan it. Like everybody would get the meat. I would just be there like gobbling up the hide like a little fucking gremlin. I'd be like, yes, yes, daddy, keep on killing the cows. Yeah, yeah. I think I actually had shit. Actually, the first skill I got 99 was prayer, which I thought was badass because reading the stats and like the buffs and stuff it would give you, it was like, yeah, that's pretty useful. And then in practice, it's like kind of shit, which is how it was back in the day, at least for me. And whenever I showed up with like the 99 cape, my brother and his friends were like, dude, is that what the fuck you've been doing? I'm like, yeah. They're like, dude, that is the most useless fucking thing you could have been doing. Because I'm sitting there making gold, grabbing like cowhide and bones and just, it's like, oh, that's free XP. Boom, boom, boom. And so, like, maxed out prayer. It's like looking back, it's like, man, that was a little bit of a waste of time. But some people like, man, video games are just a waste of time, and it's like, not really. Like, I kind of feel like it's a nice it's a different medium to experience a story. Like, for a while you just had writing and acting, which is like, okay, you go watch it, and then with writing, you're kind of able to kind of enjoy it and kind of have the theater of the mind. Then you had radio where you could like listen to it, and we've kind of like devolved into that where like we're all working and we don't have time to really watch TV as much. So we kind of gone to podcasts in a weird way for that as like another medium, if that makes sense. Like, so you can work and listen and be entertained at the same time, which is a different story and a different topic for another time. But then we kind of went to like TV and shows, and so like, we'd experience that. And then video games kind of came out. First one was like either Pong or Tetris, which I learned the other day. Tetris was technically Russian. It was like a weird thing that like one dude made, passed around like a floppy disk to a bunch of people, and then it kind of got over to the States, which kind of good on that guy. But I don't know if Pong or Tetris was the first one technically. I could be wrong. Not that it matters. Not like anybody's gonna fact check me or be pissing in the comments. But yeah, you had that, and then after a while, people were like, man, we could tell a story through this. It's not, it's like that you can be entertained and experience stories, and that's kind of how like video games have been for me. And then you got certain video games that it's kind of like you tell the story, like some of this survival crafting kind of crap. It's like, oh yeah, I'm kind of just here chilling, making my own story. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And then it kind of divulged into like Fortnite and all those other cash grab games where it's like, man, all you want is my money. Man, are we like evolving but backwards? Like, what the fuck's going on with this? Like, I think I played Fortnite like twice in my life, and I'm talking about like the battle royale. Like, me and my buddy, we like legitimately bought, or no, he bought OG Fortnite, like the one where it was like 3D zombie tower defense. Great game. I was game sharing for him with while I played that. It was fun. Then Battle Royale came out, and that's like all people wanted to play. And like kind of felt like OG Fortnite got like neglected. And then I tried Battle Royale a couple times. I fucking hate it. I can't. Like, you had a lot of people who would like build like one shot fucking 6-story hotel with Wi-Fi. It's like, Jesus, okay. And then like now I guess like they've added so much to the game that it's like Roblox. You got like what is it, Lego Fortnite, Minecraft Fortnite, like you got so many different fucking game modes. It's like, dude, it's like you've kind of reinvented the wheel. Like, this was already a thing. This was Roblox. Which a buddy of mine like a couple months ago was showing me a game on Roblox that has like really good graphics. Like, so much so it like made his computer chunk. And like kind of forgot where I was going with that one, but yeah. Man, I used to play Roblox back in the day. It was alright, but like could have been better, I guess. If you think about all these streaming services trying to like package all this stuff, it's kind of just become cable. Like, we've come full circle. It was like, cool, you got all these channels. Now you get a channel package. Cool, I'm paying to get extra content that wouldn't have been available to me. And then you get ads, and it's like, okay. Then you got like Netflix, and like it was like you could rent movies, stuff like that. They'd send it to you, whatever. Movies, no ads. And then like, oh yeah, we're a streaming service. You pay not to watch ads, and you can have all this stuff available to you online streaming. It's like, oh, cool. And then now it's like, ooh, yeah, we're doing ads. Which Hulu was kind of like the first one, but they did. It's like, look, it's a lot cheaper than the rest of them. You'll watch a couple ads here or there, but like at the same time, it was like you could upgrade and not watch ads at all. Cool. Then they packaged live TV, ESPN, Disney Plus. You know what I mean? Like it's all being packaged now, and it's like, shit, I'm just paying for cable. And like even a lot of the cable services, like you can just stream that shit online, and like kind of have like the same on demand kind of thing, and it's like. But I guess technically it's still cheaper depending on what you package, because you could just get like HBO. Like Hulu, I think now I have just Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO, and that's about it. Which is neat. I think I got ESPN, but like I don't watch that shit. I mean, if the Tyson fight, like Tyson and Jake Paul's on that, yeah, the one time I'll actually get use out of it. Maybe the Super Bowl, I don't know. Which, fun fact, they also made a Tyson paired up with Gurkha to make the Undisputed cigar. It's a beautiful box here in Florida. It's like $18 a stick, not including tax. I thought about buying it, but at the same time, it's like, no. Not worth it. To me, to some people it may be, and it could be a good stick. Hey, go for it. To be honest, I'll be really surprised if Jake Paul wins. Like, I feel like that would be like unsung horseman of the apocalypse. That would be a sign that the end times are near, that we're all completely screwed. Shit, that's a scary thought. What's also scary is looking at all the training videos of Mike Tyson and him, like, practicing and warming up. Like, he still got it, man. Like, he's a fucking beast, a machine, the undisputed champ. Shit, if he punched me, that would be like me shooting the AK-50. Like, just, fuck, I think my neck would break. Fuck, he would kill me. Yeah, no, that would be like, just, shit, okay. God, actually think about it, fuck. Like, you never stop and think about it, but it's like, okay, how hard that man can hit just to get me in one good, clean shot. If you don't kill me, I'll definitely have, like, a concussion, some brain damage, and whiplash. Even if I try to, like, get that, you know, like, that stance and kind of lean, you know, either with it or against it, like, and try and eat it. Then again, I guess I've heard Jake Paul can, like, hit pretty hard, too. I know, it's kind of weird. Like, people commentating on boxing and saying, oh, yeah, he's a bitch, he's not gonna do anything. Oh, he can't hit hard, he's this, he's that. It's kind of like... Well, it's kind of like one story I can talk about where, like, I'm talking shit about my brother's friend's car, and I'm like, oh, it's a shit box, it's a crappy little Civic with fucking speakers, it sounds like shit, all this other stuff, oh, you straight piped it. And they let me talk and ramble on, and then my brother's friend looked at me, and I'm like 13 at the time, you know. He's like, finishes rolling his blunt, you know, he's like the most gangster shit I ever heard. He rolls his blunt, he gets done, he's lighting it up, and looks at me, he's like, right, but where's your car? And I'm just sitting there, and I don't know what the fuck to say, because it's like, I've been talking shit about your car, and I don't even have one. And it's like, I really, and like, they're both like, roast me, like, man, coming in here talking about, you know, this shit box, where's your shit box? Where's your fucking Bugatti? Where's your Mercedes? And I'm like, well, shit, I kind of just took the L on that one. Which kind of, like, humbled me, to be honest. Like, going through life and shit, it's like I feel like I get to that point, I remember, it's like, oh, yeah, where's my fucking car? And, like, the boxing thing, like, talking about now, it's like, where's my fucking championship? Which, in a weird way, is why we have sport commentators that actually played the fucking sport. Because it's like, oh yeah, they did it. Like Joe Rogan, I think he's. Yeah, I know he commentates on like things. I think it's fighting, right? Like I could be mistaken. I don't know. The man does a lot of shit. He was on Fear Factor. Trying to rewatch Fear Factor and seeing him with hair, kind of unnerving. Ugh. God, I can't see him any other way now. You know, I think they should bring back Fear Factor. I don't know why I feel like that'd be neat, especially if you pick like a lot of people that are like very squeamish and like just weirded out by everything and like, you know what I mean? Like especially if you do Fear Factor but phobias, like somebody's scared of spiders and it's like okay, it's like we want you to lay down in this bed for five grand. You just gotta stay in here for 1 minute, and you just like let like a bunch of like non-poisonous, non-aggressive spiders come in, or you're like, hey, you need to work on a cranberry farm. You'll get paid your daily wage and like 10 grand. Which some of you don't know, a cranberry farm, like a cranberry bog, um, which you may want to skip if you're like arachnophobic, but like you crawl through it, and instead of using pesticides on some, they actually let like wolf spiders or tarantulas kind of like eat the bugs around, and they make nests in the cranberries, and wherever they flood it, the only thing for them to grab onto is you. Which I was telling my brother about, and he's a big arachnophobe, and like he's getting out the car, like shaking himself off. He's like, "Oh fuck, stop talking, I can't do this." Shit, if you did Fear Factor with like actual like fears and phobias, like you could do one of like what mesophobia, is that the one where like people can't stand chewing? It's like, all right, you're in a soundproof room that you know you have it where like it echoes like every sound, and it's like you just need to stay in here for 5 minutes, and you bring out like Nikocado avocado and tell him it's like don't talk, just eat, and it's just like ASMR of him going oh oh um 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 just kind of watching that would be funny. Hearing it, like, I know I'm going to re listen to this, and there's a lot of people I've listened to. It's like, I don't want this fucking ASMR. But, like, that would be the hilarious shit. Just that. Just, like, random things like that. Like, you got some dude hosting a spelling bee, and he's got, like, a fear of, like, really long words. And you have him, and you purposely where, like, he's judging one, and you have it where the words get longer. Like, they start off, like, small, simple, and you don't tell him, and you just have him keep on like going till it's like ridiculously long words that these kids have to spell, and he has to say them. And especially if you get it where like people are like actually spelling it correctly too. I feel like that show would cure some fears through exposure therapy, but also may make some people regress. Shit, I think that's $1 million idea. If any executives want to reach out to me, let me know. Just want you to know, I'm not sucking any dick to get on TV. Uh, uh, I'm not into that weird Hollywood shit. I'm not going to any private islands. Keep that in mind. I will see my check in the mail for my idea. Thank you very much. I'm definitely going to hate listening to this and kind of like editing. Like, it's not really mostly editing, it's just making sure the quality was there and like the sound sounds good. But like the amount of times like I had a little bit of technical difficulties and it's going to feel a bit jump cutty because of that is going to kind of annoy me. I don't know. I'm one of those people like I hate the sound of my voice. I kind of can't stand it. As I've got older, it's kind of gotten better. But like I remember when I was younger, I couldn't stand it. Um, yeah. Other than that, my Patreon, my Twitch, YouTube, really anything. It's all the same. It's all Stumpyee. I'll definitely try and stream, see if people want to watch me play video games and be terrible at it. I know I kind of see what people are more active on and kind of post there. As far as this, I'm gonna try and be regular, kind of on the whole podcast thing. I think I'm gonna upload this Sundays if I can. Um, with that, I guess I'll leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. If you don't, you don't. Whatever. Hell, even hit the dislike button if you hate it. Let me know where I'm doing bad. Tell me how I can improve. Shit, I don't care. Well, I do care. That's what I'm saying. But like, you know what I mean? I can't just sit here in like an echo chamber of like, oh, you're good, you're doing this and all that, and like people, just like flating my ego, sucking my dick. It's like, no, I need that hate. I need to tell me I'm doing this wrong. I can do better. You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to do better if I don't know any better? But yeah, other than that, I guess I'm gonna call this a quit. Seems like I did my job. Seeing how this goes, see how it all will grow. My name's Stumpy. This has been my show. Hope you guys have fun. Have a great and wonderful week. Shit. Call your mom, call your dad if you haven't talked to them in a while. Call your loved ones, someone. If you're going through a tough time, like reach out to a close friend or something. Really anything, I guess. Someone. Shit, worst case, if you really need someone to talk to, like, you can try and DM me. Good chance I'll try and respond. Yeah, and that, like, see you guys, have fun.